Hey guys, I just wanted to do a different video this week because usually it's like a vlog style and it's just basically going through my week and what I'm doing. I'm going to be talking about how did I go from 110 kilos to now at 85 kilos. Also kind of like a nice reminder for me because I'm at a point in my weight loss journey where I'm feeling quite stuck. I still have a long way to go, so I'm at 85 kilos and I want to get to 55 kilos. So I've still got 30 kilos to go. So I started off at 110 kilos and the reason that I got that big, for me, that was massive. I got to a point where it was like hard for me to get out of bed. And this particular morning, I went to get out of bed and I had to kind of use momentum to get myself up. At that point, I thought to myself, like, I'm really too big now. Like, this is really getting uncomfortable. The other thing that was happening, like physically for me, was I was getting lower back pain. I knew that it was because I had just gotten too big. Like, I was so uncomfortable. You know, for any of you guys that are overweight or obese, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you just feel really uncomfortable. I was binging a lot. And any chance I would get like snack food. So I'd get like chips and chocolate and just all sorts of snack food that you shouldn't eat. I dealt with that. And it was really, really difficult. It was really, really hard. I've talked about this a little bit on my channel about how I have had binge eating and I was dealing with that and I've, got over that, thankfully. It's really hard. It's basically a matter of just telling yourself no. There were nights where, because nighttime was like a big problem for me, where once I put Aisha to bed, it was like, okay, this is my chance to like eat. This is my chance to relax, and I can open a big packet of chips and I can just, sit and I can watch TV or watch a movie or whatever and just relax and eat. And that was like a big thing for me, was eating. And I was even like eating in bed. So like if I, just wanted to put on like a show, and I was pretty much like putting on a show just to kind of have with my food, you know what I mean? So instead of thinking like, oh, I kind of fancy a snack while I watch the new episode of this, it was kind of more like, what show am I gonna have with my snacks? It was like the other way around. And that was really, really difficult. So I was basically at a point where I would be standing in the pantry and I'd be like just dying to eat something. And I would be standing there and I'd be having this fight in my head, like, no, I can't. And I'd be just standing in there like, I want this food, I want to eat anything. And it was really hard. I don't know what it was. It was like withdrawals or whatever. It was so difficult. So I basically went through, because this is back in like 2018, from like 2018, this is very rough, but like 2018, around 2019, I was dealing with this binge eating disorder. So initially I lost 10 kilos. So I went from 110 to 100 kilos. And that was basically just from stopping the binge eating. So I was kind of still eating like, not great and too much, but I was getting better. Like, I wasn't binge eating, so that was really good. And then when COVID happened, like, so 2020, we were in lockdown a lot. We lived in sort of that Melbourne area, and we had 2 lockdowns in 2020. And the first lockdown, I was, eating a lot. I think it was just like being at home and being out of the routine, it just threw me a lot. And I was like snacking. So I think like that was not helping with my weight loss. But then the second lockdown, I was like, nope, I'm going to get in control of this. And I went down, like, I think I got down to like 87 kilos, I think. And then at the end of 2020, I started a new relationship. So once I was in this relationship, I put on weight again. So I went back up to like 100 kilos and I was just kind of around 100 kilos. And then at the the end of 2021, we broke up. And then the start of 2022, that's when I was like, okay, I'm 100 kilos. Like, I've really got to do this. Like, I've got to, stop messing around. Like, this is it. I'm going to lose this weight. So what I did at the start of 2022, is I actually joined a women's football team. So it was like just a community, like the local footy team, like AFL, because I thought I want to try something new because I really love footy. So maybe if I try this myself, then that's something like healthy and like active I can do. And maybe it's a chance for me to like meet people and like make some friends, because I just moved to this new city. So I want to like actually meet people and start my own like group, my own community. So I tried that. I only did it for like, I think I did 3 sessions, and after that I just decided it's not for me, because I think for me, like, it was just very different to play it than to watch it, because obviously footy, it's like you're tackling, you know, you're doing all sorts of things, you're getting up and like pushing and all that kind of stuff, and that's totally fine. I love footy, like I love my footy, but to play it myself, I was like, oh, this is just not for me, and it is what it is. But that kind of, you know, that really helped, because the training sessions, I think they were like 2 or 3 hours long, and that kind of gave me a little bit of a boost in like, I guess, confidence, because I was like, well, I did try that and that was really good for me, but I was very strict. Like the start of 22, I was like super strict. I was eating like protein pretty much only once a week. I'd have something, like I'd have one thing that was kind of like my if I can talk, it was a treat. I was really, really strict. And like I'd have, because the things I have now, like tuna, avocado and rice, back then I was only having like tuna and avocado. Like I would not have rice, because I was really trying to cut out the carbs, and it really helped, honestly. Like it really, really helped me. I think it made me appear like less like puffy as well. So I'm really thinking like I should go back to that. Like I really should go back to just limiting carbs as much as possible. Not completely, but just as much as possible, and really trying to like restrict myself from like processed foods. That is what I should do. But that initial like 6 months, like 4 or 6 months, I lost like 12, 15 kilos. It really, yeah, that was like what really got the weight off, was that initial strict like few months of like, okay, that's what we're doing. And then after that, my weight loss really slowed down, and I lost another 5 kilos just doing what I was doing, you know, just very slowly. And then basically from then, the last couple of years, I've just been maintaining, but I'm back up to 85. So I think it's just because at the moment I've been eating, there's just too many days where I'm like, oh yeah, like I will have that. Like, oh yeah, I will, you know, have that. Like, why not? There's just so many opportunities where like you can have something. And, you know, I think there's like, for me at the moment, there's a problem of like, oh, I do really well for like my lunch and dinner, and it's all pretty good. Like I eat, because at the moment I'm eating pretty healthily, but I think it's just the little things that sneak in. You know, it might be like you have a couple of lollies, you know, after work or something like that, or there's maybe you just have a little bit of this, bit of that from like, you know, the kids' lunchbox when you're kind of, you know, they've got some stuff and they didn't eat, and it's like, oh, you know, like that happens sometimes too for me. So, but that's how I did it. So the first 10 kilos was just cutting out the binge eating. I just lost 10 kilos. And I mean, it took time, obviously. I'm talking from like 2018, 19 to now 2024. So it's been like a really long time. It's been a really long process, and it's been really difficult. I mean, you can see on my YouTube channel how I have lost weight, but it's just been a very slow and like, you know, it's just not been a linear process. It's been up and down, you know, it hasn't been straightforward. And of course, weight loss is straightforward and it is simple. You just don't eat too much and you move, you be active, you know, you walk. That's all you have to do. And at the end of the day, it is just about what you eat. It's about eating healthily and not eating too much, of course. But the reality of life is that it is not that easy. It's a simple process, but actually implementing it, actually having things going on in life, actually dealing with your food noise, your food addiction, you know, your binge eating disorder, all dealing with that, it's so difficult, it's so hard. And that's why it's not a linear process, and it can take years and years. Because when I look back, this is like back when, you know, Aisha was like a toddler, you know, this is like 8 years ago. I remember I would be trying to lose weight, and I was at this stage, I think I was around 90 kilos. So not my heaviest, but, you know, heavier than what I am now. And, you know, again, it's like I'm just in one of those phases where I'm trying to lose weight. and I would go to the supermarket and I'd just think, okay, like what's healthy, like what do I want to eat? And one of the things I really wanted to eat was salmon, you know, because I knew like that's healthy and that's a really good protein source, like I should eat salmon and vegetables. And so I would take it home and I'd try to cook it and I would stuff it up. I didn't really know what I was doing, and so I'd go with these really good intentions to sit down and have this healthy meal of like a baked salmon or maybe like pan-fried salmon with some veggies, and the salmon wasn't cooked properly, like it was like raw in the middle, and the veggies weren't cooked properly, like they were uneven and crunchy and whatever and not right and didn't taste good. And I would just think, oh, like it's so hard, but of course now like salmon is one of my go-tos. Like, you know, sometimes we have that twice a week, sometimes just once a week, but we have that a lot, and that is one of my go-tos. Like I could have that every single day and just be perfectly satisfied, you know, just, and it's so easy, like pop it in the oven, do some veggies, and then boom, it's done. So that's the thing, like if you're in a place where you're thinking, oh my god, it's so hard, and I think that's a really good reminder for me, is to think, well, back then I was thinking, oh my god, this is so hard, like why is this so hard? There's my timer. When you look back and you know, you realize like, wow, I thought that was so hard, but now it's so easy. So I'm just really hoping that, you know, maybe in like a couple of years, maybe like, you know, in a year, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 5 years, I'll be a lot slimmer and I'll look back and think like, oh man, like I really was struggling with that and now it's just easy, you know. So I'm really hoping that it's just taking me a really long time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know it's different because I'm just standing here talking and I'm not really doing anything. There's no vlog or anything like that. But as I said, I just wanted to do something different. I really need to wrap this up and get going because I've got an assignment that's due in it's only due in like a week and a half. Oh my god. But I've only got like 2 weekends to work on it, so I really need to do that, and just some housework. And yeah, I've actually got a work Christmas party tonight, so that'll be exciting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.